Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, speaker.
Hi.
We have an exciting announcement, and
We're
I
not
think it's
pregnant.
been, that is exciting, yes. Yes, I've had the other announcement surprise me multiple times. But this, I think, has been coming in the works for 20 years, us having a very specific project we work on together.
Yeah. I think we've had it stirring in us in sort of like this format since we went to Canada last year in November and had just some time to focus on us and just spend some time kind of brainstorming what kind of future we see together, how we can contribute to
Kind
other
of
people's
our
lives.
joint calling or the joint mission.
Yeah, purpose.
We've tried to do it for 20 years, but there's always problems with it, right? It's too frustrating. So what are we doing? We'll get right to it. We're launching something. What's it called?
Spirit, soul, body reset.
So what is that? Spirit, soul, body reset. What are we going to be doing?
So spirit, soul, body reset is born because Stephen does the emotion and like the soul element when he does his coaching. And I have been doing some more with the physical with basically health and wellness coaching.
You're also called to ministry.
We love, Steve's a graduate from Rhema Bible College. And I've also gone to Bible schools and internships, and I just love the body of Christ and would love to. I feel called to make an impact there.
Yeah. So our vision is really to help people reset back to their original design, to be able to tap into what they're really called to do. Because over the last 20, 25 years of working with people's health, it's like it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes the spirit impacts the soul, or the spirit impacts the physical body. Sometimes the physical body can impact your spirit or impact your soul. Sometimes your soul, your emotions can impact your physical body. And so they're all connected.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are struggling in one of those three areas, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do in life.
I love that analogy, Steve, that you share with your coaching clients about how the cell phone has a little button that you can push to reset it. And it was designed by man. So if the cell phone is designed with a reset button on it, don't you think that God created people with the ability to have things be reset? Just because something has been a certain way for a certain period of time doesn't mean that it has to continue being that way forever.
Yeah. Back to the original design.
Back to the original design.
I think a simple explanation I give people often is, if I go out to my car right now, which we love our car, very grateful for it. But if the battery cable's loose, not even disconnected, just loose, when we go to start the car is not going to start, and the engine, brakes, heating, transmission, air conditioning, radio, like nothing is working, and the symptoms look quite alarming. But the car's not fundamentally broken.
You have to throw it away.
Yeah, it's like pop the hood, jiggle it, maybe tighten it a tiny bit, boom. And I think that a lot of people are experiencing so many problems, but sometimes people buy into the belief that they'll never get back to the way it was, or they've gone through too much, or their health is too far gone, or they're deal with too much emotional things, and this is not true.
Or that it's genetic, that everything is genetic, and that they just have to live with it.
Exactly. Or they're somehow missing something they need to create what they want, and that's not true either. So what are we going to be doing?
Simple solutions. So we basically have been hacking, for lack of a better word, health and wellness for these last 20 years. And we want to share what we've learned and what we continue to learn and what we glean from the people that we're listening to and from the research that we're reading about with you.
Exactly. So kind of share all the best information we've gleaned over the past 20 years and that we're currently gleaning, what's working for us, what's not working for us. We're always looking to upgrade stuff. I mean, recently you've had huge change in your own physical health. You know, you're starting to do health diet coaching for people, keto coaching, healthy
What you
keto
put
coaching.
in your mouth can make a huge difference in your life. Yeah.
That's certainly what we found. That the new way of eating we're doing has radically reduced the amount of supplements we need.
Yeah, timing of eating, what you eat. It's not just about macros, but also micros, or getting the nutrition that you need. Simple things like that we're finding really impact people with a wide range of presenting symptoms.
Yeah.
I mean, everything from like autoimmune to adrenal fatigue to type 2 diabetes to intense joint pain. It's just like the kind of things that people attribute to aging, maybe they're actually coming from inflammation from your diet.
It's huge for people. And then if people don't have the eating right, then it causes all sorts of inflammation, and they take supplements and do a lot of therapies or holistic stuff to counteract that, right?
Yeah.
So what about the spirit part of it? You know.
Well, let me ask you a question first. Do you think that science is static?
Goodness, no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. So we're not coming to you saying this is the right way, the only way. You're going to do what we say from now forever.
This is currently what we believe. It may change.
What we're finding is that what people currently believe about science is probably outdated by 20 or 30 years, including like the food pyramid, talking about at a basic level, and what people think about genetics and the neuroplasticity of the brain. All those things that when I grew up, there was this ad, this is your brain, showing an egg, crack it open in the frying pan. This is your brain on drugs, saying that no matter, that the damage that happens from drugs can never be undone. Now they're learning that the brain has neuroplasticity, that healing can occur in the brain. You have to create an environment to support the healing processes of the body.
Absolutely true. Everything's fixable. So if it's spirit, soul, body, the spirit part, what are some of the, we don't want to give away all the secrets in this first video. What are some of the simple things we're going to be talking about? Because your heart is really worship, connecting people to worship. So what are we going to talk about there?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to hit on a lot of the foundational elements of truly how we connect to God and how we relate to God. And I think in our culture and in just the human condition, we tend to believe that God is distant, that he's judging us, that he's rating us on our performance, or some other way that we've learned to find value as human beings in this life. And so we end up chasing after or rejecting God based on these things that we think we know about him. And so it's going to be foundational as far as, how does God see you? How does he see me? And it's something that there has to be a conversion point where what you learn actually hits your heart and makes changes in your heart. And so we're going to be talking about some of that stuff. I personally have found a tremendous amount of freedom and joy in connecting to God through worship and journaling. So that might be a topic that we cover. And then just what love really is, I think, and how to unblock either areas in our life that keep us from giving love or that keep us from receiving love, or both. Yeah,
absolutely. I spend almost all day, every day, working with clients on disconnecting them from shame and guilt. And I find when you can do that for people, so we talk about spirit, soul, body, when you can disconnect people from guilt and shame, all of a sudden their physical body, boom, comes in alignment, and their stress goes down, and all of a sudden they're getting better, and they're not needing to do all sorts of crazy stuff to just maintain their health. So,
right, it's really impossible to play a program of being loved on a record player that's broken or full of dust And shame and guilt can kind of act like that. And you can try your hardest to love or be loved. But we have to fix the record player in that instance, not just dry off the record and keep trying to play it, for lack of a better analogy. I think that getting to those areas is really key. And you don't know. I mean, a lot of it's almost cellular. I mean, it's not conscious. There's elements of it that are unconscious. There's an inner voice, an inner critic that we have telling us how life is and trying to keep us protected and safe all the time. And we have to learn how to put that in its proper place and context for living life, so that you're not living life criticizing yourself all the time and being afraid.
Yeah, fear.
Or ashamed, or whatever it is that's playing.
The shame can exercise hard control over you, because it can threaten disconnection from relationship. Yeah. Exactly. So one of the things I hope is beneficial to everyone out there is that we have very different personality profiles. So when we look at the same thing, yes.
What are you talking about?
It's been exciting.
What are you talking about? Nobody.
Yes. I don't never actually have to take a personality profile test, because whatever she is, I will be the opposite. So it's just only one of us needs to take the test, right? So we're going to look at the same things and the same subjects.
But you get my perspective.
Yeah, different perspectives on the same thing.
His analytical mind that loves those puzzles, like a Rubik's Cube, or those ones with the horseshoes that you have to figure out how to get apart. All those things, those are extremely easy for him. So his brain loves doing that.
Love the puzzles.
He loves the puzzles.
Love people as puzzles, figuring out how to optimize them.
He wants to get in there like a surgeon.
And you want to connect.
And remove whatever that issue is. Yeah, and I'm all about, what? Tell me more about your life and your family. Like, what's in there? I want to know what you're called to do. What are you passionate about? I'm all into all of that.
So what would we like to see this? How would we like to see this impact people? You know, we really want to see people step in to their potential.
Yeah. I mean, on a basic level, I feel like too many people are dying young. Too many believers are dying needlessly and suffering needlessly.
Yeah.
Just because there's not a lot of what we talk about is not mainstream. And so talking to people about something that's different than the standard American diet is standard accepted ideas of health. We're going to challenge them. You don't have to accept all of them, but we want to open your mind.
Yeah. I was sitting in church on Sunday thinking that sugar is really socially acceptable heroin.
It is. It's addictive.
It won't kill you as fast, but probably
gives
just
you low.
High, low.
You crave it. You want it.
You want to do it with other people. Come on, let's do some sugar together. Come over, I'll give you some sugar. How do you like the sugar? Get you addicted to a certain supplier.
And we're not going to demonize it, but at the same time, I think it's important to really find out if we want to help you do like a cost benefit analysis and find out, is it worth what it's costing you? Yeah. And maybe it is something that's valuable to you, but maybe you don't want to keep the frequency. Maybe you don't want to have it as often, and see how that impacts brain function or energy for your kids or depression.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so a lot of excellent stuff coming up. So you should be able to find the content we're going to share on almost every platform of Spirit, Soul, Body Reset, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or YouTube.
Don't make promises. We'll put it out there.
We're going to put it out there. And I think in the future we'll probably be doing down the road seminars, lectures.
Seminars, yeah. We'd love to get products to people so that you have more tools in your hands we want to empower you to take charge of your health and not just have you feel like finish my sentence. status quo,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Just have status quo.
So if people are like, hey, I need personal one-on-one, get my diet lined up, because a lot of your friends have seen the incredible results you've gotten with you and a bunch of your clients. How do they track you down?
Metabolicresetcoach.com.
So just Metabolic Reset Coach.
Metabolicresetcoach.com. And if they want to get in touch with you, if they want to work through their big knowledge that there's some emotional garbage that's been holding them back for too long in their life, they have acute grief or acute panic or acute depression or things like that, that they want to do some extra insight on, some extra eyes on. You've been coaching people you've coached hundreds of clients all over the world.
For like a decade.
For over a decade, and you have loads of experience. You're kind of, as far as a practitioner, I would say you have more experience than probably most anyone you're going to find out there right now, especially believers.
A majority of my clients are actually practitioners.
Yeah, he's coaching the coaches. So how do people find you?
TheEmotionResetCoach.com.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming, but I think it's going to be a very exciting project for us.
Yeah,
and
post your questions.
A massive blessing to all of you, and hopefully entertaining also. So I appreciate all of you guys, and look forward to serving you. Bye.